How's it going, everyone? It's Metrica here, and welcome to a brand new video. Now, this isn't a typical video that I would post on my channel, but I feel like it's one of those necessary videos because I saw other YouTubers address this same situation, and it plays a part to why I've not uploaded as frequently as I used to. So I feel like, developing an audience and all that sort of stuff, I feel like the best thing to do with your audience is to be transparent and honest, and that's what I'm going to do in this video. Yeah, there's a lot to get through. I'm going to try and keep it as short and concise as possible. I did discuss part of this on my last YouTube stream. Let's just dive into it. It's all in video form then, and let's get straight into it. So the first thing that I want to address is Jacksepticeye's recent video, which is a more sit down and talk one. I think it was titled something along the lines of YouTube has some problems or something like that. The first half of the video I'm not going to touch on because I personally haven't experienced the issues with any flagging or copyright or anything like that. But the second half of the issue of what he brought up in that video is the current YouTube meta that's going on at the moment, and it's been going on for like the past year or something, and it's getting to the point where it's being exploited so much that it's getting very, very difficult to grow an organic channel, and YouTube really does have some serious problems. For those that are unaware, YouTube at the moment, despite the success and the growth that we've had on this channel, thank you to everyone that's still around, isn't no longer sustainable for me to do full time, which is fine because I still love doing this as a hobby. I always have done it as a hobby, and I'm kind of glad in a way that it's not sustainable, only because I feel like, mentally in my head, I was sort of like, this is my job, I have to do this. Whereas now it's not sustainable. I'm still doing it because I want to. It sort of relieved that pressure of trying to follow the trends and get the views and everything else. I feel like that's what I needed. So to be honest, it doesn't bother me at all. I've gone back into work now, and I'm going back to university in the end of September for my final year, by the way, of the degree. So time is going to be very limited as it is. So that is partly why there's going to be no videos, or less videos, should I say. There will be still content. It'll just be less frequent. So I hope you guys are okay with that. So the problem that Jacksepticeye discussed, which I've been feeling and thinking about for like the past 6 months on YouTube, is the actual meta. So basically what I mean by that is how things work. Like, how can you get views? How can you grow a channel? What is the strategy to grow, essentially, is what the meta is. And currently, right now, it's either it has to be the most insane idea, or it's never going to surface and you're going to fall behind these other creators that are doing insane things. So, for example, I made my 100 days video as a fun project, and it turned into a bit of a series with the 4 other videos that I did. But my current thought process at that time of making that video wasn't to follow the meta. It was because I felt like it was a fun challenge, and I fancied doing some kind of storytell video as just a trial and error kind of thing. I wanted to see on what it was like and if I'd enjoy it. I enjoyed that aspect of it, absolutely, but I think the hardcore aspects I didn't enjoy very well. So I decided to slow off that trend. Even though it was bringing in the views and subscribers, it wasn't something that I felt I could do or sustain for a long time. And it started getting less and less enjoyable the more I did it. So I don't want to do something on my channel that I'm not going to enjoy, despite the growth. You have to respect me for that. Like, I could have followed the trend and got my channel could have been on 700, 800,000 subscribers at this point if I followed that trend, but I didn't, purely because I feel like it's not right to if you're not going to enjoy it. I feel like that's what YouTube is. It's a hobby. And even if it does take off as a business, then it becomes a business around the hobby. But I definitely don't want to lose that fun side of the hobby, because then it just becomes a standard job, doesn't it? I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty of YouTube as a job, but technically speaking, being self-employed and having all that pressure on is not the most fun thing, especially when you used to really enjoy something, and then it just goes downhill and you start to enjoy it less and less. For those that have ever done something self-employed, or especially YouTube, because YouTube, like, doing it self-employed, you need to follow trends, and you need to put so much time and effort into the editing to make it catch the algorithm. You have to consider all these different aspects. You've got to deal with sponsorships, XYZ. It just becomes very mentally draining as a job, especially surrounding the current meta. And it shouldn't be like that. It really shouldn't. And it's basically the way it feels to creators that are enjoying making content. It feels like you really, really have to jump out of your seat and get people employed and to do your editing and to do everything else to make sure you get the numbers, because that's just how it works at the moment. And to me, I don't think it should be like that. YouTube has been a very fun thing to do on your own most of the time for years. And then these last few years, it's just turned into this crazy, you must have like 5 people on your team or you're not going to have a life, essentially is how it feels like. So it's probably not the best way of me explaining that, but I guess you get the gist. I want YouTube to be how it used to be, a fun hobby, right? Not worrying about so much about the title and thumbnail, making sure it's the best possible and making sure it's super clickbaity to the point where it gets a really high click-through rate, and then not worrying about the next big thing or the next big trend, not worrying about keeping people hooked into your video because that's what YouTube wants. I get that's what YouTube wants, it's a business and that's how they make money, but at the same time, YouTube back when I started in 2008, 2009, all the way up until maybe 2016, 17, has always been, you know, not that, you know what I mean? So it's really difficult. Just to make things a little bit clear on my actions going forward, I do not plan to sustain doing YouTube full-time or as a job. If it takes off while I'm doing the things that I'm doing now or how I believe them to be done, making videos that I enjoy and not having to worry about everything else you need, then great. But if not, then it will remain a hobby and I'm completely content with that. Needless to say that everyone who's stuck around, I really, really appreciate you all. Like, I've had some really nice comments recently, especially on my last YouTube stream where I touched on this a little bit. Words just can't describe it. I love sharing my progress in Minecraft with you guys and, you know, reaching out to a new audience, and it wouldn't be as enjoyable without your commitment to the channel and you giving me feedback, so I have to thank you. Like I said, I'm trying to keep this as short and concise as I possibly can, so I'm not going into mega detail, but hopefully you get where I'm coming from with everything that I've said so far. So plans moving forward. You might be wondering what I'm going to do from this point forward. So I'll be posting content I know my audience will enjoy, so like my Let's Play series, a lot of you do enjoy that, and a lot of you enjoy the time lapses, and you guys giving me feedback on that I should build XYZ, or I should change the editing style to do XYZ because you think it'll be better, or I should do more time lapses. I don't know if I've already said that, but anyway, yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing moving forward. I will never ever post a single video, even if it's a brand deal that had a great offer, if I do not want to do it. I will create content that I want to make, and I'm sure you as my audience will appreciate that more too. So yeah, that means no more 100 days videos. I might try a super flat challenge soon actually, because that does sound kind of fun. But other than that, no more 100 days videos as far as I'm concerned. I might even try a skyblock. You know what? Actually, I'm going to change this. I may try 100 days videos again in the future, but not on the same world, because I feel like, you know, when you get to that 100-day mark, that video's done, and then those that continue that world, that's where I kind of fall off hardcore. I feel like once you've defeated the Ender Dragon and the Wither, and you've done practically everything once in survival in terms of defeating all the bosses, it's just a case of building. And that's where I feel like I don't enjoy the hardcore aspects of Minecraft, because I feel like I'm putting all my effort into making the builds look good and building up the world to know that one day it's inevitable that I'm going to lose all of that. So I think the first 100 days I think is fine, but after that, on the same world, I'd sooner just start a new world and start it all over again. Makes it a fun challenge as well, so yeah. I hope you appreciate that I'm being transparent about this situation and something that Jacksepticeye has raised, or that's where I found the information. I don't know if he's brought it up specifically, but I know a lot of other creators have brought this to light as well, as in YouTube has some very serious problems, and it's causing a lot of burnout for some creators, including me. Like, I've been very burnt out recently, which is part of the reason why you've not seen any content at all. I've not even been in the mood to record content that I would otherwise enjoy making, such as my Let's Play, but those are coming back very soon. I've had a decent time away from YouTube and stuff. I've been focusing on myself, been getting back into the gym, I've been eating well, I've just been enjoying life, you know. I've been doing stuff away from my computer, and I feel like it's time to come back, but with a different mindset. I also understand from a viewer's perspective that there's nothing worse than having no communication from the other creator you watch and then suddenly just goes off the radar. So hence why I'm making this video. So yeah, I think that's everything that I really wanted to cover in this video. If there's something that I haven't touched on or something you guys don't understand, you can drop the questions in the comments. I'll reply to as many as I can. And I think that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay on screen. I know it was just me messing around in my Let's Play world, you know, preparing for the next episode. So there is a little bit of spoilers in here, but I'm not going to mention too much. I do have some epic plans, I can assure you that one. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I mean, it's not really a video to enjoy. I hope you guys listened and understood what I was saying and will stick around no matter what. And yeah, I mean, let's just see where we can take this from here. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.